Okay, since a good friend of mine sent me this video and I feel like it's important to talk about sexual assault in Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire. Let's be real about it. Sexual assault happened in the Bible. So, the oldest book around, we have sexual assault in. And I personally think that if people want to act like, oh, well, he shouldn't have written it, then we should never see porn. We should never see any kind of nudity ever because most of the time things like Playboy, swimsuit models, your sexualization of women is a problem because we're so much more than that. But to get back on topic, Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire. So we see a really good moment in the books of making you hate the mountain, and I'm going to tag Kaylee because she made me think of this. He talks about R wording a 13-year-old, and he has all of his soldiers gang R word her. And that makes you hate the mountain. I mean, not the mountain, the mountain. You hate the mountain, not the hound, more because of the fact that he talks about that all the time and what he did to the Targaryen children. It's not I personally don't think it's a horrible thing to have accurate representation of what goes on in real life. Is it sad? Yes. But we see wars happen every day. People get assaulted, women, children, everybody gets assaulted and suffers. And it's sad. You don't want it to happen, but it does. And for George R. R. Martin, I believe he writes it in a somewhat tasteful way. Like he's not making it in an erotic way. He's not making it for anybody to think, whew, you know what I want? He's making it in a way that says, look, this is what happens. People are evil. And it's sad, but it's the truth. I don't think George R. R. Martin's hard drive should be looked at or he's in the files or anything like that just because he writes in a way that represents real life and what actually happens. Because let's be real, if this book was full of rainbow sunshine, everybody's super uber uber happy. Why would anybody read it? Because no one's gonna say, yes, Sansa sat by the window drinking tea, stitching, and Arya went out back to practice her swordplay. Robb Stark got happily married and had a dozen children, and Catelyn was a wonderful grandmother and finally forgave Jon Snow. And Ned Stark is happy as well, and they ended up actually having another baby after Rickon. And let's see. Daenerys was so in love and got married at an appropriate age and had a bunch of children. No one's reading that. No one's going to read that. Everybody's going to look at that and be like, what the hell? That's boring. Now, the fight scenes, the battles, that's what keeps me drawn in. As somebody who likes to read, I don't read smutty books very often. And if I do read anything that has that kind of content in it, I want a plot. I don't want it to just be sex scene after sex scene. I want it to be memorable. I want to know why we're here. Are we in motorcycle gangs rivaling? Are we telling a twisted retelling of Beauty and the Beast? Are we fighting dragons? Like, whatever the case may be, I think that it has to be more than just that. And George R. R. Martin, in all actuality, I know somebody one time told me that all his books had in it was sexual assault. I don't see that much of it. Yes, it's there, but if each book is 1,000 pages and there's five of them, and you get it mentioned once a book, the odds aren't that bad. So, me personally, I think George R. R. Martin wrote it tastefully.